everyone. My name is Mehul Tyagi. I am the student of Bennett University Computer Science Department. Today I am here to present my seminar topic, that is cyber terrorism. In this PowerPoint presentation, we'll be discussing about cyber terrorism, its type, and many more details about cyber terrorism. So let's get started. What is cyberterrorism? Cyberterrorism is often defined as any premeditated, politically motivated attack against information systems, programs, and data that threatens violence or results in violence. The definition is sometimes expanded to include any cyber attack that intimidates or generates fear in the target population. Attackers often do this by damaging or disrupting critical infrastructure. Various security organizations view cyberterrorism and the parties involved differently. The US Federal Bureau of Investigation, that is FBI, defines cyberterrorism as any premeditated, politically motivated attack against information, computer systems, computer programs, and data, which results in violence against non-combatant targets by subnational groups and clandestine agents. The FBI view a cyber-terrorist attack as different from a common virus or denial of service (DOS) attack. According to the FBI, a cyber-terrorist attack is a type of cybercrime explicitly designed to cause physical harm. However, there is no consensus among governments and the information security community on what qualifies as an act of cyberterrorism. Other organizations and experts have said that less harmful attacks can be considered acts of cyberterrorism. When attacks are intended to be disruptive or to further the attacker's political agenda, they can qualify as cyberterrorism. According to these other groups, in some cases, the differentiation between cyberterrorism attacks and ordinary cybercrime lies in the intention. The primary motivation for cyberterrorism attack is to disrupt or harm the victims, even if the attacks do not result in physical harm or cause extreme financial harm. Methods used for cyberterrorism. The intention of cyberterrorist group is to cause mass chaos, disrupt critical infrastructure, support political activism or hacktivism, or inflict physical damage and even loss of life. Cyberterrorism actors use various methods. These include the following types of attacks: advanced persistent attack, advanced persistent threat, that is APT, computer viruses, worms and malware, DOS, hacking, ransomware, and phishing. In further slides, we'll see these types of attacks in detail. So the first one is advanced persistent threat, that is APT. Advanced persistent threat attacks use sophisticated and concentrated penetration methods to gain network access. Once inside the network, the attackers stay undetected for a period of time with the intention of stealing data. Organizations with high value information, such as national defense, manufacturing, and financial industry, are typical targets for API. Computer viruses, worms, and malware. Computer viruses, worms, and malware target IT control systems. They are used to attack utilities, transportation systems, power grids, critical infrastructure, and military systems. The next one is DOS. DOS attacks attempts to prevent legitimate users from accessing targeted computer system, devices, or other computer networks. These attackers go after critical infrastructure and governments. Hacking, which is very common. Hacking or gaining unauthorized access seeks to steal critical data from institutions, governments, and business. Ransomware. Ransomware, a type of malware, holds data and or information systems hostage until the victim pays the ransom. Some ransomware attacks also exfiltrate data. Phishing. Phishing attacks attempt to collect information through a target's email, using that information to access system or steal the victim's identity. What are examples of cyberterrorism? Examples of cyberterrorism include the following: disruption of major websites. The intent here is to create public inconvenience or stop traffic to websites containing content the hacker disagree with. Unauthorized access. Attackers often aim to disable or modify communications that control military or other critical technologies. Disruptions of critical infrastructure systems. Threat actors try to disable or disrupt cities, cause a public health crisis, endanger public safety, or cause massive panic and fatalities. For example, terrorists might target a water treatment plant, cause a regional power outage, or disrupt a pipeline, oil refinery, or fracking operations. Cyber espionage. Governments often carry out or sponsor espionage attacks. They aim to spy on rival nations and gather intelligence such as troops locations or military strategies. Is cyberterrorism a real threat? The threat of cyberterrorism is greater than ever. In 2021, the for Strategic and International Studies (CSIS), a bipartisan non-profit policies research group, identified 118 significant cyber attacks that either occurred during that time or were acknowledged to have occurred earlier. Significant attacks, as the CSIS defines them, include those that targets government agencies, defense, and high-tech companies, as well as economic crimes with losses over $1 million. Defending against terrorism. The key to countering terrorism is to implement extensive cybersecurity measures and vigilance. Cyberterrorism has mostly targeted government entities. However, that is changing and business are becoming targets as well. As a result, business and other organizations must ensure that all Internet of Things devices are secured and inaccessible via public networks. To protect against ransomware and similar types of attacks, organizations must regularly back up systems, implement continuous monitoring techniques, and use firewall, antivirus software, and anti-malware. Companies must also develop IT security policies to protect business data. This includes limiting access to sensitive data and enforcing strict password and authentication procedures like two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. Continuing to the previous slide, the National Cybersecurity Alliance is a public-private partnership to promote cybersecurity awareness. It recommends training employees on safety protocols and how to detect a cyber attack and malicious code. The Department of Homeland Security coordinates with other public sectors agencies and private sector partners. It shares information on potential terrorist activity and how to protect national security as well as counter-terrorism measures. On a global level, 66 countries, including the United States, participates in the Council of Europe's Convention on Cybercrimes. It seeks to harmonize international laws, improve investigation and detection capabilities, and promote international cooperation to stop cyberware. And at last, we have a very good quote. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and few minutes of cyber incident to ruin it. Thank you. I hope this slide was helpful to you all. Thank you.